green lights are on? Are you ready? Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you. And we are live on YouTube as well. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is November the 5th, 2025. It's approximately 2 p.m. My name is Christine Burke. I'm a public utility law judge with the Maryland Public Service Commission. We're here today for evidentiary hearing in case number 9772, which is captioned TPE MD W073 LLC's application for certificate of public convenience and necessity to construct a 5 megawatt solar photovoltaic generating facility in Worcester County, Maryland. Can I please have the appearances of counsel, beginning with the applicant?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Margaret Witherup on behalf of the applicant, and present with me is Ms. Carla Weber, also on behalf of the applicant.
Good afternoon. And for the Power Plant Research Program.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Attorney General Steve Tolson on behalf of PPRP.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Roscoe Leslie for the County Commissioners of Worcester County.
Good afternoon.
Your Honor, good afternoon. Kenneth Albert on behalf of Commission staff.
Good afternoon. And my understanding is the matter is still contested. Is there any stipulation to the parties' exhibits?
PPRP has no objection to any of the exhibits.
No objections by staff.
I have no objection.
Okay.
We have some objections to some of the county's exhibits.
Okay, then we'll just proceed as if it's a contested matter.
Okay.
So, Ms. Witherup, if you want to call your first witness.
Yes, before I do that, I wanted to let you know that we have a slightly amended exhibit list for the applicant. And may I approach with
Yes,
a copy for
please.
Your Honor? So the only difference is with respect to Exhibit 21, there's a separate mail log reference for Exhibit A. But otherwise, it's the same as what was previously filed.
Okay. Okay.
So
Anything else
do we need
preliminarily?
to identify our exhibits?
Well, are you going to introduce through your witnesses, or would you, is there any objection to the applicant's exhibits?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Then we
Okay.
can go through if you want to identify your exhibits for the record.
Okay, yes, thank you. Exhibit number 1 for the record was the application for the CPCN, which was filed on December 23rd, 2024, under mail log 314465. Exhibit number 2 is the environmental review document, also filed December 23rd, 2024, under mail log 314465. Exhibit number 3 is the appendices to the environmental review document, filed on December 23rd, 2024, under mail log 314465. Applicant Exhibit 4 is an updated decommissioning plan with a revised ERD, attachment 6.18, which was filed on December 30th, 2024, under mail log 314542. Exhibit 5 is an updated environmental review document filed on February 5th, 2025, under mail log 315481. Exhibit 6 is updated ERD appendices 6.03 and 6.06, which were filed February 5th, 2025, under mail log 315481.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you. With respect to the certificate of publication for the pre-hearing conference, that was entered as applicant's Exhibit 1. Is that where
Okay.
you started?
Yes, I
That had
wasn't
already-
sure that we had done that already.
That had already been entered in
Okay.
at the pre-hearing conference.
So that is Exhibit 1, and then my other first 6 exhibits, just add 1 number to those.
Yes, so Exhibit 2 would be the application for CPCN.
Yes.
Exhibit 3 will be the ERD that was filed on December 23rd, 2024. Exhibit 4 will be the appendices that were filed, which would be attachment 6.01 to attachment 6.20 to the ERD. And we got up to applicant's Exhibit 5, which was the updated decommissioning plan with revised Appendix 6.18, and applicant's Exhibit 6, which was the updates to the ERD, Appendices 6.03 and 6.06. And is that as far as you got?
Yes, that is
Okay.
correct. So, in Exhibit 1 was the certificate of publication for the pre-hearing conference.
And that was already admitted.
Okay. Exhibit 8 is the amended direct testimony of Francis Uhas, filed October 16, 2025, under mail log 323395. Exhibit 9 is the direct testimony of Babak Malik, filed April 25th, 2025, under mail log 318281. Exhibit 10 is the direct testimony of Heather Hutton, filed April 25th, 2025, under mail log 318281. Applicant Exhibit 11 is the updated appendices 6.03, 6.12, and 6.16, which were filed April 25th, 2025, under mail log 318281. Exhibit 12 is the certificates of publication for the first public comment hearing, which was filed May 6, 2025, under mail log 318620. Applicant Exhibit 13 is the supplemental direct testimony of Francis Uhas, filed July 11th, 2025, under mail log 320370. Applicant Exhibit 14 is the supplemental direct testimony of Bob Malik, filed July 11th, 2025, under mail log 320370. Applicant Exhibit 15 is the supplemental direct testimony of Heather Hutton, filed on July 11th, 2025, under mail log 320370. Applicant Exhibit 16 is the updated environmental review document filed on July 11th, 2025, under mail log 320370. Exhibit 17 is the updated environmental subsurface investigation, glare study, and concept site plan, which were filed July 11th, 2025, under mail log 320370. Applicant Exhibit 18 is the certificate of publication for the second public comment hearing, filed on August 20th, 2025, under mail log 321708. Exhibit 19 is the signed affidavit, which was filed on August 22nd, 2025, filed under mail log 321812. Applicant Exhibit 20 is the certificate of publication for the third public comment hearing, filed on September 11th, 2025, under mail log 322292. Applicant Exhibit 21 is the amended rebuttal testimony of Francis Uhas, filed on October 16th, 2025, under mail log 323395, and Attachment A, which was the interconnection cost estimate, filed on September 17th, 2025, under mail log 322491. And Exhibit 22 is the direct testimony of Christopher Martin, filed on October 30th, 2025, under mail log 323821.
Okay, applicants' exhibits 2 through 22 will be marked for identification.
And we would ask that exhibits 2 through 22 be admitted.
And no objection?
No objection.
Okay. Applicants' exhibit 2 through 22 are marked and entered into the record.
All right, thank you. And with that, we're ready to call our first witness.
Okay.
Ms. Frances Uhas.
Okay. Good afternoon. Do you
Good
swear or
afternoon.
affirm to, under the penalties of perjury, that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand and say your
Yes.
spell your name.
Of Frances Yuhas, Frances Yuhas.
Okay.
I'm just checking to make sure the witness's microphone is on.
Is the green light on?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. Good afternoon, Ms. Yuhas. I'd like to direct your attention to what has previously been admitted as applicant Exhibit 8 in the binder in front of you. And do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Is this your amended direct testimony in this case, filed October 16th, 2025? If you look on the cover page.
Yes.
And if I were to ask you the same questions that are reflected in this document today, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
Are you getting it or not? Okay. Go ahead. I'm just making sure that he can hear.
Yeah. Let me direct your attention to applicant Exhibit 13 in the binder in front of you.
Okay.
And is this your supplemental direct testimony filed on July 11th, 2025?
Yes.
If I were to ask you those same questions here today, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
And let me direct your attention to applicant Exhibit 21. And is this your amended response and rebuttal testimony filed on October 16th, 2025?
Yes.
And if I were to ask you those same questions here today, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
Do you have any amendments or clarifications to anything in your previously filed testimonies?
No.
Did you have a chance to review the revised licensing conditions that were filed by PPRP last week, I believe, under PPRP Exhibits 11 and 12?
Yes.
Okay. And is the applicant willing to adhere to the proposed licensing conditions from PPRP?
Yes.
Right, thank you. With that, the witness is available for cross-examination.
Okay. Any
No
questions?
cross,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Tolson?
No cross.
No cost.
I do have a couple clarifying questions. Ms. Yuhas, other than the zoning issue and the request to have the decommissioning bond held by the county, did the county make any other requests to modify or change the project?
No, I believe those were the only two items that they questioned.
On page 31 of the ERD, which I'm not sure you have in front of you, it would be the revised ERD.
That would be applicant Exhibit 16.
And page what?
31. And I believe that was a section that you sponsored.
Mm-hmm.
It states that TPE has a history of contributing to local nonprofits for each project that they develop and intend to do the same for this project. Have you identified a local nonprofit?
Not yet. We will work in tandem with the landowners as well as other suggested organizations in the community that would benefit from a synergistic partnership with Turning Point Energy.
Okay. Well, does the applicant intend for that to happen post-construction or pre-construction?
So we will start identifying those assuming the certificate for public necessity and convenience is granted, that's when I typically start that process of meeting with different organizations, trying, determining what is a good fit with our mission, as well as the needs in the community, with the input of some of the local community members, the landowner, and stakeholders.
With respect to the 200-foot landscape buffer that was added to the adjacent properties on Old Ocean City Boulevard and the increase to the 35-foot buffer along Old Ocean City Boulevard, those were the only requests made by the town of Berlin. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Was the increase in the height of the buffer at planting from 6 feet to 8 feet made in response to the town or the county's concerns?
I will defer that to Mr. Christopher Martin. I believe it was as a result of the town. But said I'd like
I
to.
can follow up.
Yes.
I don't have any other questions. Are there questions in light of my questions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, and my associate, Ms. Weber, is going to handle the next two witnesses.
Thank you, Your Honor. With that, we would like to call our next witness, Mr. Christopher Martin.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Could you say and spell your name, please?
Christopher Martin, Christopher, Martin, Martin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Martin. Could you please tell us what is your position with the project?
I'm a professional engineer with Kimley Horn. We're the civil engineering consultant working with the applicant, Turning Point Energy.
Thank you. And I'd like to direct your attention to what has been previously admitted as applicant's Exhibit 22. Is this the direct testimony that was filed on your behalf?
It is.
Was this prepared by you or under your supervision?
It was.
And if I were to ask you all the same questions today, would your answers be the same?
They would.
Do you have any changes or additions that you would like to make to your testimony today?
Not at this time.
And Mr. Martin, do you know a Miss Heather Hutton?
I do.
How do you know her?
She was a colleague at Kimley Horn. While she worked there, she recently left the employment of Kimley Horn.
Did you and Miss Hutton work on this project together?
We did.
In what capacity?
We worked hand in hand in preparing the ERD and associated attachments, exhibits.
Very good. And I'd like to direct your attention to what has been previously admitted as applicant's Exhibit 10. Is this the direct testimony filed on behalf of Ms. Heather Hutton?
It is.
Are you familiar with the portions of the environmental review document that Ms. Hutton sponsored?
I am.
Did you help her to prepare or draft these sections of the ERD?
I did.
And are you now sponsoring those sections in lieu of Ms. Hutton?
I am.
Thank you. I would also like you to take a look at what has been previously admitted as applicant's Exhibit 15. Is this the supplemental direct testimony of Ms. Hutton?
It is.
Are you familiar with, or did you help prepare these sections as well?
I did.
Good. And are you now sponsoring these sections in lieu of Ms. Hutton?
Yes, I am.
Well, and if I asked you the same questions today that were previously asked of Ms. Hutton, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
Are there any changes you would like to make?
No.
Thank you. Then with that, Mr. Martin is available for cross-exam.
Mr. Tolson, do you have questions for Mr. Witness?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
I would just have the follow-up question with respect to the vegetative buffer, the increase in height at planting from 6 feet to 8 feet. Do you know why that change was made?
I don't. I would ask if we have in our attachments the letter from the town of Berlin. That might be able to answer the question. But off the top of my head and with my notes, I don't have that answer.
For the record, the letter from the town of Berlin is included in applicant exhibit 3. It's the very last page of that document.
I didn't see anything in there about the vegetative buffer. That was why I was asking whether that was made in response to one of the town, either the town or county's concerns.
To my knowledge, it wasn't made in response to the town's concerns.
Okay, I don't have any other questions. Are there questions in light of my questions?
No, Your Honor.
None, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. If we may then call our next witness, Mr. Babak Bob Malik.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, if you could just say and spell your name for the record, please.
My first name is Babak, B-A-B-A-K, and my last name is Malik, M-A-L-E-K.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Malik.
Good afternoon.
What is your position with the project?
I'm a director of engineering with the applicant. I oversee engineering efforts, consultants, design engineering. I deal with utilities too, interconnection.
Thank you. And sir, I'd like to direct your attention to what has been previously admitted as applicant's exhibit 9. Is this the direct testimony that was filed on your behalf?
Yes.
Sir, I'd also like you to take a look at what's been previously admitted as applicant's exhibit 14. Is this your supplemental direct testimony?
Yes.
Thank you. And were these prepared by you or under your supervision?
Yes.
If I asked you the same questions today, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
Do you have any additions or changes that you would like to make today?
No.
Thank you. Then with that, Mr. Malik is available for cross-examination.
Okay. Any
No
questions
cross.
from PPRP? Okay. I just had one clarifying question. Am I correct that you sponsored the glare analysis that was completed?
Correct.
And it's correct that there were several versions of the glare analysis
Correct.
done. Is that correct? Okay. I don't know if you have PPRP's testimony in front of you, but in PPRP's direct, the testimony was that the model predicted up to 41 minutes of potential green glare annually on the portion of Old Ocean Boulevard adjacent to the break in the landscape buffer that allows access to the project site. Is that accurate in the most recent glare analysis that was filed?
I have to double check, Your Honor.
I believe that would be your exhibit 17.
That's correct.
The last version of the summary report I'm looking at in the results sections, it says no observation points or route receptors are shown to experience any kind of glare from the project. So that's the last version of the report.
Okay,
for the glare.
so the most recent glare analysis indicates no glare. Is that correct? Okay. Was that due to the change in the increased buffer in the later analysis that was done?
I can't recall, but it could be.
Okay, that's the only question I have. Is there any question in light of my questions?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The applicant has no further witnesses.
Did you want to identify your exhibits?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to. PPRP has 12 exhibits. The first 8 exhibits were all filed on August the 12th, 2025, all under the mail log number 321329. PPRP Exhibit 1 for identification is the direct testimony of Jenny Rogers. PPRP Exhibit 2 for idea is secretarial letter. PPRP Exhibit 3 for identification is the recommended license conditions. PPRP Exhibit 4 for identification is the project assessment report for this particular application. PPRP Exhibit 5 is Appendix A to that project assessment report, and that consists of the applicant's responses to selected PPRP data requests. PPRP Exhibit 6 is Appendix B to the PAR, which is reference sections of PPRP's website. PPRP Exhibit 7 is Appendix C to the PAR, which is a letter. PPRP Exhibit 8 is Appendix D to the PAR, which is Maryland Aviation Administration letter. The next 2 exhibits, PPRP Exhibit 9 and 10, were filed on September 17th, 2025, both under mail log number 322495. PPRP Exhibit 9 for identification is the revised recommended license conditions in a red line version. PPRP Exhibit 10 is the revised recommended license conditions in a clean version. And finally, PPRP Exhibits 11 and 12 were filed on October 31st, 2025 under mail log number 323891. PPRP Exhibit 11 for identification is a revised recommended license conditions in the red line copy, and PPRP Exhibit 12 for identification is the revised recommended license conditions in a clean copy. So I would like to move for the admission of Exhibits 2 through 12 into the record at this time, and I'll address Exhibit 1 once we place Ms. Rogers on the stand.
Okay, is there any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
Okay. PPRP's Exhibits 2 through 12 will be marked and entered into the record.
And at this time, I would call Ms. Jenny Rogers to the stand.
Good afternoon. Could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
I do.
Could you say and spell your name for the record?
It's Ginny Rogers. Now it is. Ginny, Ginny, Rogers, Rogers.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Rogers, do you have in front of you what's been marked as PPRP Exhibit 1 for identification, which is your direct testimony?
I do.
Was this testimony prepared by you or under your direct supervision?
It was.
Is it true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Do you have any corrections or additions to make to that testimony?
I do not.
If you were testifying today under oath, would your answers to the questions posed be the same as set forth in the direct testimony?
Yes, they would be.
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to move for the admission of PPRP Exhibit 1 into the record, and Ms. Rogers is available for questioning.
Okay. Is
No
there
objection.
Any objection? Okay. PPRP's Exhibit 1 will be entered into the record. Is there a cross-examination?
No cross from the applicant.
I do have several questions. In the county's direct testimony, which I'm going to paraphrase what the county's testified, witness Kinnear on page 2, lines 15 through 18, stated that if the subject property is utilized for solar development, pressures in the next planning cycle may cause a demand for residential uses to extend into the adjacent agricultural farms and zoning, resulting in sprawl. As part of PPRP's review, is the Maryland Department of Planning consulted?
Yes, they are.
Does PPRP have any concern that development of the project will result in residential sprawl into adjacent agricultural zones?
I do not, because the town of Berlin, in the letter that was filed by the applicant, expressed that they did not intend to develop in that general area or in that direction, I believe is what they said.
And you said that was in their letter?
The letter that was filed by the applicant, I'm using their, you may know it, the letter that was filed by the applicant as one of their appendices.
Just for the record, it's the last page of applicant
Exhibit
Exhibit 3.
Part 2 of witness Kinnear's testimony stated that old Ocean City Boulevard is a rural major collector highway on the Blue Crab Scenic Byway. Is that road part of the Maryland Scenic Byway program?
I don't know the answer to that.
Do you know whether the DPL substation is also located on that same road?
It is.
Okay. Is that screened from Old Ocean City Boulevard?
No, I have vivid memory of driving past it when I did the site visit.
In your Exhibit 7, PPRP Exhibit 7, which was Appendix C to the PAR, there's a response from the Beaches to the Bay Heritage Area who opposed the project because of the historic nature of Berlin and argued solar development is turning pastoral vistas into industrialized landscapes of metal and glass surrounded by security fences. Will the project be visible from the town of Berlin?
I don't believe so. Not from the main street, definitely not.
Does PPRP believe that there will be any aesthetic impact to the historic nature of Berlin?
I do not.
On page 10 of your direct, I'll let you get there, you indicate that the applicant will need to comply with the prevailing wage rate and Public Utilities Article 7, 306.2N. But in the revised license conditions filed, which I now think is PPRP Exhibit 12, page 2, the license condition indicates it does not apply to the project. Can you clarify?
I actually don't know the answer to that either, but I can check, follow up.
Okay. There was one person that spoke at the public comment hearing in Ocean City and voiced concerns about the disconnect when engineers and architects go to the soil conservation district with the sediment and erosion control plans for approval, and that there's some conflict and communication between approval for those plans and where the vegetation management conditions, how those two correlate. He suggested adding language to the license condition about establishing native warm season and low-growing pollinator-friendly habitats. How can that be enforced? That I understand in this case the applicant has agreed, but how can that be enforced in the license conditions?
We're struggling with that a little bit because once these conditions become adopted into a final order, they become the PSC's purview, and it would be up to the commission to enforce that. I think one of the things that would have to happen is just more communication with the county so that they know they should be seeing the CPCN license conditions as part of approval, because I think part of the problem is they're approving sediment and erosion control plans without knowing what the state has approved prior. that's probably the first step.
Does PPRP believe that putting a condition in the conditions that the county review the license conditions prior to approving local plans would be appropriate?
It could be, yes. I think maybe we probably assume that that happens, and it doesn't all the time.
I'm gonna direct you to your testimony regarding the glare and the 41 minutes of potential green glare that was predicted in your testimony. Is that still the case in the most updated glare analysis?
Yeah, I must have missed the most updated glare analysis. This is based on the one filed in the docket on July 11th, and at some point they must have filed a new one, and I must have, maybe it was after I already filed this testimony.
So you would agree with the new analysis that says there's no glare?
Yes. Well, I guess I haven't seen it, but I would trust, based on the other glare analyses that they've done, they input the correct parameters, and if changing the buffer height from 6 feet to 8 feet means that there's no glare, I can trust that.
With respect to page 8 of Exhibit 12, which is your license conditions, condition number 26C, it says that after addressing PPRP's comments and any revised recommended license conditions, the project owner shall file a request for approval of proposed mitigation in the docket no less than 450 days prior to start of construction. I just wanted to verify whether that was a typo.
Probably, yes.
Okay, that should be 40.
So 45. I didn't even find it without, yeah.
On page 30, with respect to decommissioning, in your direct testimony, you stated that the decommissioning plan and bond amount were not reviewed, and you're deferring review until after the county approvals are obtained. And in the license conditions, recommend an amount no less than $491,977 for the bond. Can you explain how you determined that that minimum amount was required, or what you're basing that on if you hadn't reviewed it?
We read it, we just didn't go into detail on it, and that's the number straight from their decommissioning plan. As you know, we have changed this decommissioning plan condition so many times and worked on trying to get it right, so this is about as close as it can come right now to be accurate to other cases that have filed since then.
Okay, so would you say that the minimum amount of that bond of the bond proposed here is commensurate with minimum amounts for similar sized projects? Okay, thank you. I don't have any other questions. Are there questions in light of my questions?
Yes, just briefly.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Ms. Rogers.
Hi.
You testified that the DPL substation on Old Ocean City Boulevard is not screened, correct?
Correct, yes.
You've seen it, you remember
I've
it
seen it,
vividly?
yes. Vividly, I remember it, yes.
Okay. Where is that DPL substation in relation to this proposed project?
It is across the street and very slightly west. Sorry, I'm not good with directions, but it's very slightly west of the project, a little bit further away from the town of Berlin.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Leslie.
Yes, Your Honor. In light of there being objections to the exhibits.
I think, do you want to identify your exhibits and then proceed with
Sure, and
witnesses.
I haven't, this is the first I've heard of objections. Would it be productive to talk to counsel in the interim or take a brief recess to discuss what it is, to work that out? I apologize, I'm unfamiliar with this is my first time and the county's first time here, so.
I mean, we can just, if you think you can resolve it, I'd be happy to take a recess. But
I have no idea what how many
the
there
basis
are, what
for
they
the
are.
objections.
I'd be happy to proffer. We're objecting to exhibits, county's exhibits 2, 7, 8, and 9 on the grounds that they're beyond the scope of Ms. Keener's pre-filed direct testimony and irrelevant to the issues in the case. I think that the purpose of pre-filing direct testimony is so that the parties know what the witnesses are going to say and save everybody's time and effort. And I recognize that there are appropriate times when witnesses need to supplement their testimony, which is why we're not objecting to the other exhibits, and particularly number 6, which is the 2025 Maryland Housing Needs Assessment, because those are directly related to her direct testimony and seem like appropriate supplementation. But priority funding areas, the scenic byways, and a 2023 DNR press release about a land purchase in 2023 doesn't seem relevant and is beyond the scope of Ms. Keener's pre-filed direct testimony.
Your Honor, I would proffer that these were priority funding area, Bay Club purchase, and I believe the scenic byways were mentioned in our county's initial opposition letter, which is included as an exhibit by applicant.
And
Our objection letter, October 14th, 2024, mail log 314465.
yes, and so that would be that included 7, 8, and 9. No, 8. The 2, 8, and 9.
2 and 7. Excuse me. 2 and 7 have to do with priority funding areas. We mentioned priority funding areas.
Correct.
9 was the purchase of the golf course. I believe
Witness Kinnear actually testified that to the existence of the project being on the Blue Crab Scenic Byway as well. That's in her testimony. So I'm going to overrule the objection. There's testimony from PPRP that projects in a priority funding area that addresses the map, as well as number 7, which is PPRP's information about priority funding areas. And I believe 8 was included in Witness Kinnear's testimony or was referred to it, and number 9 was included in the county's opposition. So I'm going to overrule your objections.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So proceed with the
identifying.
May I have marked as county's exhibit number 1, 2006 Worcester County Development Plan that consists of 96 pages, mail log 323940 filed on November 3rd, 2025. That mail log filing number will apply to all of these except for the last one. They have marked as exhibit number 2, the 2024 Worcester County Priority Funding Map, which consists of 1 page. Marked as exhibit 3, 2025 Worcester County Housing Study, which consists of 124 pages. I'd like to have marked as exhibit 4, 2010 Town of Berlin, Maryland Comprehensive Plan. Marked as exhibit 5, the 2013 Town of Berlin Growth Tier Map. Marked as exhibit 6, 2025 Maryland Housing Needs Assessment. Marked as exhibit 7, Maryland Department of Planning Priority Funding Area website. Marked as exhibit number 8, 2004 Blue Crab Scenic Byway Corridor Management Plan. Marked as exhibit 9, June 28th, 2023 Maryland DNR press release regarding land purchase. And marked as exhibit 10, the direct testimony of Jennifer Keener, mail log 322842, filed on September 30th, 2025.
Okay, county's exhibits 1 through 10 will be marked for identification. Other than the objections we already spoke of, are there any other objections?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Counties 1 through 9 will be entered into the record, and I believe you have your witness here to
Yes, Your Honor.
attest to Exhibit 10.
Yes.
Is as long as the green
Tap
light's
that.
on.
Yep, it's on.
I can give you a list, too.
All right. How's this? Good?
Better?
Oh.
Okay.
County we call Jennifer Keener.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
I do.
Okay. Can you say and spell your name for the record?
Jennifer Keener, Jennifer. Keener, Keener.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Keener. Can you identify your position and your work address, please?
Yes, I am the Worcester County Director for the Department of Development Review and Permitting at 1 West Market Street in Snow Hill, Maryland.
Did you submit direct testimony in this matter that was filed on September 30th, 2025 under mail log 323940?
I did. Yes.
Was this testimony prepared by you?
Yes.
Do you have any changes to this testimony?
No.
Would your testimony be the same today?
Yes.
That's all I have is submit Ms. Keener for cross-examination.
Okay, thank you. Applicant, do you have
Yes.
cross-examination?
Good afternoon, Ms. Keener.
Hello.
I'd like to direct your attention to your direct testimony.
Okay.
Do you have a copy in front of you?
I believe I do.
Okay. On the first page of your testimony, page 1 of 3, beginning in line 7, you indicate that the county is opposed to the project in part because it is inconsistent with the Worcester County Comprehensive Plan and Zoning Code.
Yes.
You see that? And is the current county comp plan from 2006?
Yes.
That's the most recent comp plan?
Yes.
Okay, and that was admitted into evidence as county exhibit number 1. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
The county comp plan is a planning document, correct?
Yes.
And it's intended to provide guidance for how the county is going to be growing.
Yes.
And it includes several goals and objectives regarding different categories. Is that correct?
Yes.
And one of those counties has to do with public infrastructure.
Yes.
And do you have a copy of the county's exhibit in front of you?
Don't.
Thank you. I'd like to direct your attention to the county's comprehensive plan, page 73. All right, and this is under the section regarding public infrastructure. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and on page 73, under the photo, there's several goals, I guess, with respect to other utilities. And goal number 1 indicates that one of the county's goals is to work with the private sector to ensure a dependable and adequate supply of electric power. Do you see that?
Yes.
And you would agree that's one of the county's goals as of today?
Yes.
All right, and continuing on the next page, 74, the very top of that page indicates another goal of encouraging alternative sources of power. Do you see that?
Yes.
And would you agree that that's one of the county's current goals?
Yes.
You have, I guess, also indicated in your direct testimony that the the county is opposed to the project because it's located within a growth area for the county and the town of Berlin. Is that correct?
Yes.
And would you agree that the county has not grown as much as was predicted in the 2006 comprehensive plan?
It has not.
I'm sorry.
No, the population, relative to population,
Yes, the
No, it
population
has
has not grown as much as was predicted in the 2006 plan.
correct.
Okay. And let's see. Did the 2006 comprehensive plan predict that the county's population would be over 62,000 by 2020? And I could direct your attention to page 23 of Exhibit 1, which is the county comprehensive plan.
Yes.
Okay. And then in County's Exhibit 3, you have provided, or the county has provided the 2025 Worcester County Housing Study, which is just completed this year, correct?
Yes, this last month.
Very recently.
Very recent.
Okay. And if you could turn to page 10 of that document, County Exhibit 3. The top of that document indicates that as of 2024, the county's population had reached 54,337, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then on the next page, it looks like the this report is predicting that the county's population is not going to be over 62,000 until 2050. Is that correct?
Over how much? You said
62,000.
Yes.
Yeah, the page 11, the
Yes.
third line down indicates projections indicate an increase to 57,150 by 2030, 60,810 by 2040, and 62,895 by 2050.
That's what the report says, yes.
Okay. And would you agree those are the most recent predictions of the county's population growth?
Yes.
And would you agree that that's significantly less than what planners expected in the 2006 comprehensive plan?
Yes.
So the 2006 estimates turned out to be overstated, correct?
Yes.
Now, isn't the county required to update its comprehensive plan every 10 years?
Yes.
Okay, and is the county in the process of developing a new comprehensive plan?
Yes.
Is that anticipated to be final sometime in the next year?
Yes.
And does the county currently publish drafts of that comprehensive plan?
We have working drafts published on our website.
Okay. It's working drafts so that it's available to the public to review.
Yes.
Okay. And I believe that on the county's website, those draft plans are available by particular chapter. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and there's a chapter on land use.
Yes.
And in the land use chapter, I believe there's also a link to growth area maps. Is that correct?
Initial maps, yes.
Drafts, recognizing their
Yes,
drafts.
of course.
It's not final yet. I
No,
understand
no.
that. All right. I'm going to show you what I would like to have marked as applicant exhibit 23. Right, and just for the record, this is a page that I found on the county's website under the land use tab for the draft comprehensive plan.
Yes.
Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Okay, and this indicates the town of Berlin's growth areas, and on the left is the 2006 Berlin growth area, and on the right it indicates Berlin draft growth areas for 2025. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and the solid red lines appear to indicate the town of Berlin's limits. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then on the map on the left, it indicates the orange areas were designated as growth areas as of 2006, correct?
Yes.
And on the right side of the page, it indicates that the draft growth areas are indicated in green. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and the top of this document indicates that the Planning Commission voted to remove growth areas as requested by the town of Berlin. Do you see that?
Yes.
And so is it accurate that this project location would be removed from the town's growth areas if the county adopts this comprehensive plan?
I can't say that because we have not finalized the maps.
Okay, but I recognize that the county hasn't finalized it yet, but if this map change were adopted, would this project be removed from the growth area for the town of Berlin?
If this initial map were adopted as is, yes, it would be removed.
Okay, and it indicates that this was requested by the town of Berlin. Is that accurate?
The initial boundary, yes.
You aware that the town of Berlin does not object to this project?
The town of Berlin did provide staff with the letter regarding the landscaping as part of their request.
And are you aware that they also filed public comments in this case and indicated that they recommend that the project be approved with the additional vegetative buffer conditions?
I'm aware.
All right, thank you. I'd like to move applicant exhibit 23 into evidence.
Is there any objection?
No objection.
Applicant's exhibit 23 will be entered to the record. And for the record, it is two maps of Berlin's growth areas comparing 2006 growth areas with a draft map of the 2025 growth area.
Going back to your direct testimony, I'd like to direct your attention to page 2 of your direct testimony. Where you indicate, well, I guess, is it accurate that the county's objection to this project is based also on inconsistency with county zoning?
Yes.
Okay. And on page 2 of your direct testimony, beginning at line 10, you indicate that over 60% of Worcester County is appropriately zoned for utility-scale solar systems as a permitted use. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, and do you know approximately how many acres of total land you have in Worcester County?
Putting me on the spot there. I would be afraid to give you an accurate number at this moment.
Okay, if I were to tell you it's about 304,000 acres, does that sound about right?
Probably close to that, yes.
Okay, so would it be accurate that if 60% were zoned for solar, that would be about 182,000 acres? It would be 60% of 304,000. Okay. Would you agree that zoning alone does not make a particular site usable or appropriate for a solar project?
I'm sure there are other factors.
There are other factors, right? And one of those factors would include whether the site is already under a permanent agricultural or conservation easement, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And it would also involve other factors such as environmental features of the site and things like that, and proximity to utility infrastructure, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, under the county's current draft comprehensive plan, there's also a section on agricultural, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Under that section, I believe it's chapter 9, it indicates that there's currently about 79,000 acres of land that is protected in the priority preservation area. Does that sound correct to you?
Yes.
Okay. So, and priority preservation areas is a lot of that agricultural preservation, to your knowledge?
Agricultural zoning, or they're not necessarily the same.
No, I'm talking about a preservation area.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's in some agricultural, some forested. Yes.
okay. So,
But it doesn't equate to the zoning percentage. Is my point.
correct.
Yeah.
Understood.
Mhm.
So, isn't it also correct that if a portion of that 60% is going to be included in a priority preservation area?
A portion of it, yes.
And if that 79,000 acres that are in priority preservation area is subtracted from the 182,000 acres, that would be significantly less land available for solar development, correct?
I think so. I'm not quite sure where your numbers are going with that. I'm sorry.
My point is that the 60% of land you say is zoned for appropriately for solar facilities, a significant chunk of that is not in the real world going to be appropriate for a solar project, correct?
Potentially. I can't speak to the selection of a site for solar, but it is appropriately zoned for it.
But you understand there are lots of factors that go into the appropriateness of a site for a solar project.
Yes.
Going back to page 1 of your testimony, lines, I guess, 8 and 9, you indicate that part of the county's opposition to the project is because it will negatively, visually, and environmentally impact the gateway into the town of Berlin and existing adjoining residential uses. Do you see that?
Yes.
Now, what do you mean by environmentally impact the gateway?
Well, there will be site impacts. I know there are a lot of ditches on the site that will be impacted with the development as part of the initial project.
Ditches meaning drainage?
Agricultural ditches, yes, as part of the property.
Okay. And are there any other negative environmental impacts that the county perceives with this proposed project?
I can't speak to any right now.
Are you aware that the Power Plant Research Project did a project assessment report for this project?
Yes.
And part of that report evaluates the potential environmental impacts of the project?
Yes.
And are you aware that the PPRP project assessment report found basically no significant negative environmental impacts that couldn't be mitigated through licensing conditions?
Yes.
Okay. If you could turn to page 3 of your direct testimony, beginning in line 21, you indicate that the county prioritizes smart growth. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And would you agree that one of the underlying principles of smart growth is to make an efficient use of the existing public infrastructure?
One tenant, yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, one tenant of it is yes.
Yes, okay. Are you aware that this proposed project is located directly across from an existing Delmarva substation?
Yes.
Okay. Would you agree that siting a power generation project next to existing electrical infrastructure is consistent with smart growth?
With that particular tenet of smart growth, potentially yes.
Would you agree that siting a project like this next to an existing Delmarva substation would minimize the need for new line extensions?
Yes.
And it would also minimize the amount of land disturbance that could be required for longer line extensions?
Potentially.
Let me go back to page 1 of your direct testimony. Line 9, you indicate that the county's opposition is based in part on a perceived negative visual impact on the gateway into the town of Berlin and existing adjoining residential uses. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. And are you aware that the applicant has agreed to vegetative buffers to screen the project from view?
I am aware now, yes.
Okay. And are you also aware that at the request of the town of Berlin, the applicant agreed to increase the width of that vegetative buffer from 20 feet to 35 feet?
Yes, that was the request of Berlin.
Did you attend any of the public hearings in this case?
Only with the county commissioners.
I'm sorry?
No, not the public service, public hearings, no.
Okay, yes, I was referring to the public.
Yes, no,
yes.
I did not with the Public Service Commission, no.
Okay, you've attended meetings with the county commissioners regarding this
Yes.
project? Okay. Were you aware there were 3 public comment hearings in this case?
Yeah. Not aware, but yes, thank you.
Were you aware that the county did not send a representative to any of the 3 public comment hearings in this case?
Yes.
Are you also aware that at the public comment hearings in this case, not a single member of the public expressed opposition to the project?
I'll take your word for that, yes.
And the commissioners are nonetheless opposed to the project?
On the basis of inconsistency with zoning and the comprehensive plan, yes.
All right, thank you. No further questions.
Any questions from PPRP?
No, Your Honor.
Just a couple. Ms. Keener, who has the final say on the comprehensive plan, the updated comprehensive plan?
The Worcester County Commissioners.
Okay, who has the final say on the growth areas in the comprehensive plan?
The Worcester County Commissioners.
Have they had a chance to review any of the drafts for the growth areas yet?
No,
So they haven't voted on anything yet?
no.
And then, Your Honor, follow-up question you had earlier, will the project be visible from the town of Berlin limits?
It's immediately adjacent to it. Depends on the screening height, I
When you mean
suppose.
immediately adjacent, can you explain please?
The parcel boundary is immediately adjacent to the corporate boundaries. The property lines are immediately adjacent.
Thanks. That's all I have.
Okay. Does staff have any questions?
Yeah, just a quick one. It's curious that you have what appears to be a difference with the town of Berlin in
Mhm.
this project. How is that being handled? Is there ongoing discussions?
You mean relative to the growth areas?
Yeah, specifically with this project.
We have not specifically discussed this project with the town of Berlin.
Thank you. That's all I have.
I do have a brief follow-up. Do you
Go
want to
ahead.
go
I have
first, or
some
would you like me
questions,
to?
but you go ahead.
Okay. Ms. Keener, you indicate that the commissioners have the final say on passing a new comprehensive plan.
Yes,
And they have not yet voted on the new comprehensive plan.
correct.
Okay. On applicant exhibit number 23, the top line indicates Planning Commission voted to remove growth areas as requested by the town of Berlin. Does that indicate that the County Planning Commission has voted to recommend this to the commissioners?
The Planning Commission reviewed these initial drafts at the request of all of the municipalities, and that is what the initial basis for the development capacity analysis is based on. So this was their initial review of that.
Okay, and the Planning Commission voted to remove the growth areas as requested by the town.
That was the initial discussion for preliminary evaluation of development capacity analysis.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
I have a few questions. With respect to the comprehensive plan and the draft of the map and the Planning Commission's scheduling of evaluating those maps,
Yes.
what is the timeline of that?
As far as when the commissioners will review it?
When do you expect that the commissioners will be reviewing maps and the tenets of the drafts of the comprehensive plan for finalization?
They have been holding work sessions, joint work sessions with the Planning Commission since, I think, September. So we will be looking at that this winter with an anticipated adoption of probably early spring.
And I just want to clarify something that council said. So the Planning Commission has already looked at the draft map from the town of Berlin.
Yes.
Okay, and they have voted to agree with the town of Berlin to remove the growth area.
Their initial recommendation was to move forward with the town's request in order to proceed with the development capacity analysis, which the development capacity analysis tells us how much housing and population we can expect to accommodate in the next growth cycle. And that's what the growth areas are really targeted for.
Okay, will that development capacity analysis influence whether or not those growth areas are approved or not?
It could change if we're not anticipating to have enough development or land properly zoned for development, then it could increase. We could be required to increase or decrease land accordingly.
With respect to the project site right now, it's correct that there is no water and sewer currently available there, correct?
I can't speak to whether there is or not.
Do you know whether the property owner sought to subdivide for residential development before?
Yes, they did.
Okay, do you know what the result was of that?
No, my records show a subdivision concept plan, and I do not have additional data relative to that.
Okay. Would the property need to be annexed or go through the annexation process in order to get hooked up to water and sewer?
It's strongly recommended in the current comprehensive plan, but not necessarily required.
Do you know, one of the things that's discussed in your testimony is the need for residential development to accommodate housing. Do you know how many sites plans for residential development have been approved by the county in the last 5 years?
I could provide you with that number, but off the top of my head, I do not want to speculate. But our housing study did state that we're almost 2,100 housing units short right now, based on their analysis.
Okay, and I'll follow up with council at the end with a list of some of these questions. I don't expect that maybe you have this
Sure.
right off the top of your head.
No problem.
So along those lines, I'd want to know how many housing units have been added in the county in the last 5 years.
Okay.
Do you know whether the county has a requirement to provide a landscape maintenance agreement for solar development?
We do.
And do you require a developer to post a bond to cover maintenance of landscape buffering?
Yes.
Do you know whether the county requires review of decommissioning plans?
We do now, yes. We just passed legislation adopting decommissioning requirements.
Okay, and do you have requirements for bond amounts for decommissioning?
A requirement to hold a bond based on an estimate provided by a third-party engineer.
Okay. There's no amount, required percentage amount or anything?
It would be 125% of the estimate without salvage value deducted.
Again, I don't anticipate you might know this, but I will follow up again with council. How many times in the last 5 years has the county approved a zoning change in a designated smart growth area?
In a growth area?
Yes.
I would have to review our rezoning records. We do quite a few rezonings.
I wouldn't expect you to know that right off the top of your head.
Yeah.
All fairness. And again, do you know how many undeveloped acres there are zoned for residential development in Berlin's smart growth area?
In Berlin's growth area, I'd have to get you the numbers because we had the deduction for the Bay Club property that we mentioned in our testimony, which was significant.
Okay. And I'm going to follow up with council. I have a bench data request for PPRP as well from witness Rogers' testimony. Are there questions in light of my questions for witness Kinnear?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, and I believe that we did enter witness Kinnear's testimony. That would be the county's Exhibit 9. So, thank you, staff.
Staff has called to the stand. Staff is presenting one witness. This is Tanji Bunch.
Is the button pushed on your?
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Staff asked to the stand. It's staff member, staff engineer, Latangia Bunch.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Yes. Do you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Good morning, Ms. Bunch. Could you explain your job responsibilities at the commission?
Yes, I'm an engineer. I review cases such as CPCNs, rate cases, and things like that.
And you prepared testimony that was filed in this proceeding on August 12th, 2025?
Yes.
Do you have any changes to that testimony?
No.
Your Honor, we had already asked that that testimony, Ms. Bunch, be identified as Staff Exhibit Number 1.
So identified.
And we would ask that that Exhibit Number 1 be introduced into the record.
Is there any objection?
No objection.
Okay. Witness Bunch's testimony will be entered into the record as Staff's Exhibit 1. Is there cross-examination?
Applicant has no cross.
No cost for PPRP. No cost, Your Honor.
Okay. I just had one clarifying question.
Mhm.
On page 9 of your testimony, you discussed the applicant's bond amount of $491,977. Does staff have any opinion about whether that is an appropriate minimum amount of bond?
I don't.
Okay. And I would note you included a footnote at the bottom citing PUA 7218, the requirement for 125% of decommissioning costs in a bond. Why did you include that in your testimony?
Because it was something that became effective right before that we produced the testimony. So we thought that it would be, that we should include it just for informational purposes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions in light of my questions?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. with respect to bench data requests to PPRP, if you could clarify whether there will or will not be any glare based on the most recent update glare analysis. And question 2 would be whether the Blue Crab Heritage Highway is included in the Maryland Scenic Byways program. And with respect to the county, how many times in the last 5 years has the county approved a zoning change in a designated smart growth area? How many site plans for residential development have been approved by the county in the last 5 years? How many housing units have been added in the county in the last 5 years? How many undeveloped acres are zoned for residential development in Berlin's smart growth area?
When you say smart growth, is that synonymous with the priority funding area? Or, I mean, sorry, the growth area? Just the growth area.
The growth area, and for reference, from the 2006 comprehensive plan, the existing one. And if you can, based on the draft of the 2025 map, how many would be available? A comparison would be helpful.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I wrote down that you had a question about whether the prevailing wage applied or not.
Yes,
Is that part
that
of
would
the
be
bid?
number 3. Yes,
Three for
I
us?
missed that one, yes.
Okay.
It conflicts. The condition says that it does not apply, but Ms.
Testimony.
Rogers' testimony says it does. So just clarification as to whether or not that applies. to the
Yes,
project.
and the due date for these bench dealers?
I have a date of November 14th.
Okay.
Do the parties want to submit briefs?
There, Your Honor.
Is the applicant,
If, yes, we would like to submit a brief.
okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay. So due date for briefs for the parties that would like to submit them would be December the 12th. It's a Friday. And I believe that's adequate time for the transcript to be available. And reply briefs? If
Probably not.
okay,
For
just
me.
giving the opportunity.
Possibly.
Okay, then reply briefs would be due December 30th for any party that wants to file them. And the record will remain open. Are there any other issues that we need to address today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We can go off the record.
Thank you very much.